The time is 11:02 a.m. Good morning. The news headline. 2023. Bishop Oyedepo speaks on contesting for president. Presiding Bishop of Living Faith Ministries, Bishop David Oyedepo, has shut down rumors of contesting for the country's top position. Oyedepo, in a recent sermon, disclosed that he had no ambitions whatsoever, adding that even if he is dashed the presidency, he will flatly reject it. The fiery preacher revealed this while criticizing the activities of Fulani herdsmen in the country. In his words, "If they dash me presidency, I wouldn't take it. I knew that 1984, not now. I am not talking about presidency. It is not an area I am called into. It is a very great office, but it is not my calling." The preacher also said the following over the murderous activities of herdsmen in the country. He said, "Fulani herdsmen have become a menace. They are sponsored, I know it. There are things you think you know that God shows to perfect. The things they are calling find it now. I found it longest time. You don't need intelligence antenna as a prophet to find it. I saw this government coming in with a bloodthirsty gut and I cried. The worst time in the history of Nigeria is 2015 to now, and it is getting worse by day." The time is 11:04. The analysis. Bishop David Oyedepo of the Living Faith Church, popularly known as Winners Chapel, has actually shut down the rumors of people saying that he actually wants to contest for the country's top position, which is the president of the country come 2023. There have been rumors spreading all around that perhaps all this while he has been criticizing the president and among others, is quite because he possibly might be eyeing the top position, which is the president, come 2023. And in a recent sermon of his, he actually disclosed that he has no ambitions whatsoever for the presidency, that if at all he was even dashed, he would flatly reject such kind of offer. He said that while he was criticizing the activities of the Fulani herdsmen in the country, of recent, some abductors of his church actually reduced the ransom for these things for releasing the captives for 3 million naira. They abducted 2 females of Kogi State Polytechnic, Itakpe campus, and a non-academic staff of Confluence University of Science and Technology, and they asked for 3 million ransom. The 3 of them were kidnapped on a Sunday at the Living Faith Church located in Osara community at Davi local government area of Kogi State during a night rehearsal. The kidnappers initially asked for a ransom of 30 million naira to secure their release, stating that they need 10 million for each of them. And after pleading, the abductors reduced the ransom to 3 million naira, that is 1 million for each of them. And a relative of one of the abducted students who pleaded anonymity said that the kidnappers have been in touch with the family members of the abducted students and varsity staff, and they actually demanded 30 million naira, of which they had to beg to reduce it to that amount. And one of the parents begged that they accept 100,000 ransom for each of them, and they threatened that they are going to kill the victims, so they begged that they spare them while they run to raise the money. Even the 100,000 is beyond the reach as a civil servant. Kemi's grandfather died on Monday, and her father had to rush to Kwara State, leaving her mother and brother to continue with negotiations. They believe in God and prayers because at the moment, most of them, even everyone in the country, are actually confused, and they are appealing to them to reduce the ransom, as we prayerfully hope that they would come to raise the ransom demanded. The father of one of the abductors actually said, he revealed that the same kidnap gang had abducted a man in the area about some weeks before that, but could not reach any of his relatives as he was without food. And after failed attempts to make any contact for his ransom, they returned the man and abducted the students and varsity staff. Then when contacted, the state police public relations officer, DSP William Aya, said that they have activated procedures towards rescuing the abducted victims. And shortly after all these happenings, Bishop, this actually happened, shortly after some sermon he made some times ago, whereby he said that the Fulani herdsmen causing all this confusion in the country, that they would sleep and they would not wake up, and that most of them will go blind in the next 24 hours, and many bad things will actually happen to them. The prophet, he was raining curses bitterly on all these Fulani herdsmen, and not too long, let's say about 48 hours after that sermon, that was when this kidnap again happened, whereby these people are actually members of his church. They were actually coming back from their night vigil rehearsal, and all those stuff like that, and they were kidnapped. So now, after all this incident, the bishop was actually provoked, and he has been known to actually be against the President Muhammadu Buhari regime, because he claimed that before 2015 he had been saying it. Even in 2015 he had been saying that this regime would actually be one of the worst ever, because he can actually see blood everywhere. So that he is a prophet, and he knows that the Fulani herdsmen are being sponsored because they have actually become a menace in the society. He said that these are the things that one will know, and God will show his prophets that the things that everybody are finding out now, that he already found it longest time ago, and that as a prophet he doesn't need any intelligence antenna, that he already saw that the government coming in as at 2015 was with a blood-thirsty God, and he has cried aloud but nobody listened to him, and that the worst time in the history of Nigeria is from 2015 up to date now. So therefore, showing that he already knows that this presidency issue would actually come out again too, that he already knew about it since the year 1984. And in his words he says that, okay, if at all, that he's not saying that the presidency and the position of the presidency is not actually a good one, that everybody actually wants to become a president, and it's a fine thing, it's a good position, and that it is just that it is not his calling, that his calling is not to be a political person or be a president of the country, that he is a prophet, and that is his own call, that's his own field. So even at all they dash him that presidency position, he would not accept it, but he is not disputing the fact that it is indeed a great office. So he disclosed it that he is not going to contest for 2023 or even any year. He does not have any business with the position of the presidency, and that everybody saying that needs to change their mindset or have a renewed mindset, that is actually only criticizing the bad things of this government because he needed to do so, and because of the crisis that is happening in the country that has become a very large insecurity for the country. People are begging, members of the church are actually begging that he should help them with the money to bail those that be held in captives, and many other things that happen in the country is so disheartening. So the bishop has said it, that he has shut down the rumors of contesting for the country's top position presidency. This time is 11 a.m. Good morning.